I'd like to welcome you out tonight to the Allgood City Council work session. Tonight's meeting is solely for the purpose of speaking to any interested candidates for the open vacancies. There are 2 vacancies for the council, one with a term ending September of 2018 and one ending September of 2020. So at this time, you want to do the pledge?
Yes.
If we could get you to stand.
If you would please, let's say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time, if you are interested in one of the open vacancies for the City Council, if you would please stand. Okay. And we'll start over here. If you'll give me your name. Okay. Behind Mr. Caldwell, I see Miss Whitefield. Okay. Maybe seated. Is there anyone spoken with Mr. Caldwell and he has an engagement in a few minutes? Is there anyone else that has something else they need to be at? Okay. What we're going to do is give each candidate just a moment to step to the microphone, tell about why you want to be on the council, and speak with the council, and they may ask you questions, and then if you have anything else you want to address, we'll be glad to take that at this time. So Mr. Caldwell, if you would please step to the microphone, sir. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Gabe Caldwell. I moved here to Cookeville about 6 years ago. I'm married to my high school sweetheart, Heather. Married for 18 years. We have 3 children. My oldest is Madison. She's in high school here at Cookeville High. And my boys, Jake and Luke, are ones at the middle school, which I got to run to a 8th grade night for a basketball game tonight. And my youngest is Luke, and he attends Allgood Elementary. I work at the Swallows Insurance Agency here in town. I've been here for been with them for about 5 years. I've been in the insurance industry for, I guess, about 15 years now. I attend Life Church. I've been there for about 5 years, and I've never really been in politics. I just am a concerned citizen, and I love my community that I live in. I live over on 316 Taylor Circle here in Brookside, and I just want to help. And if you need help, that's what I'm here for. So that's me, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. Thanks, by the way, for letting me go first.
Sure.
Appreciate that.
Mr. Caldwell,
Mm-hmm.
In your opinion, where do you see the city of Allgood in 5 years?
Well, I didn't really decide to do this until about a month ago. So I really don't really have I guess a per se vision. I don't really have any agenda. I'm just here to serve. That's really it. I just feel like that we are supposed to give back to our communities and serve. And I guess in thinking about my community and where I want it to live, I want it to be a desirable place to live. I want it to be a place where there's jobs. I want it to be clean. I want it to be safe. I own property here, so I want it to be a desirable place to live. I'd like to see job growth for our area, and that's, I guess, my vision is just to have a great place. And I think it is a really desirable place to live. I think this area is probably one of the more desirable sides of Putnam County, so I love it here.
Any questions?
Is there any qualities that you haven't mentioned that you think you could bring to the table?
Well, I'm honest. I feel like I can listen to facts. I feel like I can make decisions based off of those facts. I feel like I can get along with people. I don't really have a problem with that. I can get along with a lot of people. Working with the public, you have to be able to get along with just about anyone. And I love people. I enjoy working with people. And I think that's part of what this is working with one another on the city council for the best interest of the community. And that's all I want, whether that's me or someone else. I trust your guys' decision and that you'll choose the best people to serve as city council. And if that be me, I'd be very proud to serve. And if not, that's okay too.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Caldwell, if we could just confirm you have been a resident of the city of Allgood for at least a year prior to today.
I have. We moved into our home, it'll be 2 years in January.
Okay, thank you, sir. Were there any other boards you'd be interested in serving on?
Maybe.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I don't really know, I guess, the other boards, but I would consider it, yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Anyone else have a question?
No, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Caldwell.
Thank
Have
you.
a good night.
Appreciate it.
Mr. McPherson, if you would step to the microphone, please, sir.
Good evening, council. It's good to see you all. I am Tim McPherson. I have lived in Allgood half my life, about 20 out of 40 years. Got my first job here in Allgood back in 1990. When I first started working, I worked here in Allgood. Worked at IWC for 5 years, working on the refrigerated dock. You asked if it was cold outside a while ago. No, it's not cold. I really think, Mr. Mayor, you asked where should Allgood be in 5 years?
Yes, sir.
I think we have a lot of healing that needs to happen in Allgood. I think there's a lot of people who see Allgood one way and a lot of people that see Allgood a different way. My daughter, Skylar, there. I think whoever is on the council, we all of us, council, citizens, everybody in Allgood needs to work together to heal our city. We have our bicentennial coming up in a couple of years. We need to be focusing on a celebration on that. There's a new park that's going to have to be developed. We need to be focusing on that. We need to, our roads need some improvement. I think we all can agree with that. There's a lot of things the council needs to do, but I think foremost is we need to heal this city. We need to heal the divides that are in this city. And I want to be a part of that. And with that, I'll open up for any questions.
I know when I asked Mr. Caldwell what his vision was for Allgood in 5 years, 10 years. And basically that was what I was asking, your version of Allgood in 5 years may be completely different from someone else's. I think we all understand that. And just to touch on that point that you made briefly, it's no secret that it has been nothing less than volatile for the past few months here. Mm-hmm. And that's the reason thusly for tonight especially to be as fair as we possibly can and give everybody the opportunity, no matter what walk of life you come from.
Right.
It doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't. But just that vision of the city, as you mentioned, the parkland that we've purchased, we do have a road plan in place where we identify what needs to be done. And
right.
Any new ideas that people can bring to the table, we're open and willing to listen to. So I appreciate you mentioning each and every one of those. But anybody got any questions for Mr. McPherson?
Mr. McPherson, I'll ask you the same question. What individual qualities do you think you can bring to the council?
Well, I think I I can see patterns. I can see how things interrelate with each other. And I think I can help steer things in directions that they need to go. And as a member of the council, I think we really need some outreach to the community from the council. And I think I could maybe help there in that area. And, you know, there's never been a job that I've held that I haven't sort of hit the ground running and, you know, adapted to the job and, you know, figured out how it works and, you know, worked my way up to being a trainer, you know, for new hires into the jobs. I did that at IWC. I did that at when I worked at Cotton Eye Joe's. I did that when I was working at Lowe's. I've had a few jobs. I do not work now, but I've always, you know, helped bring new people in and train, you know. So I think I could be of assistance in that area to reach out to the community and, you know, just wherever I'm needed, you know, put me in, coach, I'm ready to play.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Mr. McPherson, if we could just confirm you have been a resident of the city of Allgood for at least a year prior to tonight?
Yes, sir. We've lived on Cooper Road for 10 years.
Yes, sir. And would you be willing to serve on any other boards?
I'd be willing to serve wherever I can help the city of Allgood.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Do you have anything else you wanted to add?
I think that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Luke Hill.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Councilman Bilbrey, Councilman Norris. My name is Luke Hill. I'm coming at me here. Resident at 354 Brookside, in the Brookside subdivision. Been there about a year and a half. My wife and I and 2 children recently moved here from Memphis for me to take a job at the hospital. We, you know, when we moved here, we, you know, obviously had a choice of where to live, and we looked at all the communities from, you know, Baxter all the way over to Allgood and even farther out, and we landed here in Allgood because this was appealing to us. It had that small town feel. It had that close-knit community feel that appealed to us, and so we have just loved living in Allgood for the past year and a half. I've got a daughter who's in 8th grade. I've got a son who's in 4th grade in the elementary school as well. So we've enjoyed being in Allgood for the past year and a half, and we've to echo your comments, Mr. Mayor. You know, we've seen some of the strife recently. We're concerned, and you know, I personally see a need, and I feel that possibly my background could help meet that need. So just here tonight to if there's a need that I can fill, happy to do so. When I'm trying to anticipate your questions, you know, what makes Allgood great? One of the reasons why we selected Allgood was, you know, you look at what makes any community great, and it's going to be schools, it's going to be economic development and crime, and that seemingly Allgood seemingly has a good grasp on those 3 areas, and if selected, that would be, you know, those are my 3 main focuses: economic development, schooling, and crime. I will stop and let any questions.
You got a question?
I'll ask him the same one.
Sure.
What individual qualities do you think, other than what you mentioned, that you can bring to the council?
Sure. I've got some experience with the whole, you know, parliamentary process of a council, a board. I serve as the chief legal counsel for the hospital, so I oversee the board of trustees for the hospital. I also have served previously on the Community Redevelopment Agency over in Shelby County and Memphis. It was a joint city and county body that oversaw various tax increment financing redevelopment efforts in Memphis. So I've got a little bit of history of the whole process of listening to constituents, getting on the ground and hearing what people need and what people think, what people feel about their community, and coming together with the other parties in that respective body and making the best decision for those constituents. So got a little bit of history, a little bit of experience, and I think it would serve me well.
Okay. Thanks, sir.
Mr. Hill, as I stated to Mr. McPherson, it's no secret that it's been very volatile for the city of Allgood. It's not just the council, it's the entire city, because we're the ones that are out. We just happen to be in the forefront of it.
Absolutely.
But that stability, that calmness, that level-headedness from any person, and again, from any walk of life, it doesn't matter what you do for a living or where you live or anything like that. I think that's exactly what, we're the type of person we're looking for, because it's going to take that steadfastness, if you will,
Absolutely.
to accomplish what's got to be accomplished.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to make that comment, because I'd commented to Mr. McPherson as well, and wanted to include you with that too. So.
Absolutely. And if I could piggyback on that, that might be another quality. I am new to town. I've only been here a year and a half. You're anticipating your question.
Thanks, sir.
Only been here a year and a half, so maybe a fresh face could help the healing process. I agree with Mr. McPherson completely. Some healing needs to happen, and but at the same time, that doesn't mean that you can't move forward with smart growth and smart planning. You referenced the park. That is great. You look at what's going to incentivize people to relocate and bring their families and their dollars to Allgood. And so, healing should happen, but growth and the future needs to happen as well.
Anything else?
Nothing else.
Michelle, you confirmed your residency. Would you be willing to serve on any other boards?
I'd be willing to serve any way that you all seem would need me.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mrs. Shauna Whitefield, if you would please step to the mic.
My name is Shauna Whitefield, and thank you for allowing me this opportunity. I have lived in Allgood for 52 years. I have seen Allgood go from the Spec Farm to Walmart. I've seen restaurants come that I never believed it as a child would come. So I've seen growth in Allgood. I'm excited about the park because I have 2 grandchildren. Brian and I have 1 son, a daughter-in-law, and we're excited about that park. And I do know that plans are already underway for that. I'd like to see more sidewalks in the city. I'd like to see unity with everybody, if possible. I attend Allgood Cumberland Presbyterian Church. Allgood's just changed in so many ways. And I've sat and watched it, and I feel like I could help in some way. I want to help see Allgood grow. More jobs, more restaurants, more. Who would ever dreamed a car wash in Allgood? Shauna, no. Not an automatic car wash, maybe a spray wash, but not an automatic car wash. I just want to see more things come to Allgood, more businesses besides Dollar Tree and Walmart or Dollar General, give us another one. I'd just like to, and be there for the employees of the city of Allgood to listen to their needs. I don't feel this town I feel the people may be hurting, but I don't feel we've died yet. I feel we're still stable. I'm a housewife. I'm available to anybody. I care about the crime in this town, and I can say we have, to me, as a citizen for 52 years, a low crime rate compared to other areas of this county. I think the city employees that we have currently employed are doing a good job, especially Rerun, my garbage man. But, and Victor out in the middle of the road the other day, blowing leaves in front of City Hall, just amazed me. These men and women go an extra mile for us. And as a citizen of Allgood, I'm proud of each and every one of them. I'm proud of you all. Yeah, we got weak, but we're getting there. We're back. To me, we're stable. I don't think we've fallen. I don't think maybe some of the citizens are upset, but I would like to be a part of that, to remend maybe, bring love and caringness and integrity back to this city. I'll take any questions.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay. What individual qualities do you think you can bring to the council?
Well, I used to work for the city of Allgood as the secretary for the chief of police when former Lisa Fowler was mayor. I was able to see on the inside how just exactly that part of City Hall ran, and they could have used more employees at that time, and they're set up good over there now, I feel, from my point of view, from working that department, because I had to work the police department and the city hall as well. So I know how both of those run. I'm a high school graduate. I've worked in law enforcement all my life, except what time I was at Walmart for 5 years. So that's really all the qualifications I got.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of the changes made thus far? When I say changes, I mean the purchase of the park property, the fact that we have a street plan in place, that we're working to try to attract businesses. I mean, from your point of view, do you see that as all those things as a positive, or would you do anything to change those things?
No, I would not. Not even the entrance to it, the out, even coming. Let me ask this question before I go any further. Is it gonna come out on Main Street? Anywhere?
What are you talking about?
The park.
The entrance
park.
of the park.
Entrance or the out? Is it gonna be anywhere below Sonic? Am I in the wrong area?
You are in the correct area below Sonic, and yes, ma'am, it will be on Main Street.
Well, the only thing right there would be, to me, I think that would need to be the entrance and come out the other way. And the reason why I say that is because of traffic flow for Main Street. If you attend Trinity Assembly on Sundays at 12:30, at a little after 12, they're backed plumb down to the diner or further. So being a resident on Elm Street, I go out and go the back way. But that would be my only thing. I foresee the park being in a perfect spot. I want it to be a park that our children, grandchildren, their children will love to go to. Things that they can ride, swing, a fountain maybe. We don't have to be like the city of Cookeville. We're all good. If you want a fountain, I'll have a fountain. If you don't want a fountain, I don't want a fountain. But I want what's best for Allgood, not what's best for me. I want what's best for these children, the elderly, the grandchildren, and the city employees.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ms. Whitefield,
Yes.
you've confirmed your residency. Would you be willing to serve on any other boards?
Yes,
Thank you, ma'am.
you're welcome.
Mr. Justin Grant.
My name is Justin Grant. I've lived in Allgood, not Cookeville. I've lived in Allgood most of my life. Moved here from Nashville when I was in 7th grade, moved in with my grandmother. Went on to graduate with a bachelor's in psychology at Tennessee Tech and to be honest, I had no idea that anything was going on in Allgood. I've lived most of my life with the assumption that one day Cookeville will just swallow up Allgood and we'll just be a part of a larger metropolitan area. And it's unfortunate that I took an interest in what is going on in Allgood by reading the front page of the Herald Citizen. And it is incredibly unfair to have my knowledge base skewed so much by all the negative and all the bad back to back. But now that my interest is piqued, if there is a need in Allgood, I would love to be available to help. I certainly think that the best people need to be on the council. So I don't know the skills that I have to offer. If those are needed, I would love to serve. I'd love to serve in any capacity that I would that anybody would see fit. I've been a pastor at Church on the Hill I'm working on my 6th year, and I understand what it's like to have a vision and a passion for a group of people and to see a need, but I also know what it's like to have your name dragged through the mud for just trying to help. So that's kind of what I've got going on. And I'd love to answer any questions that y'all would have.
Okay, sir. What individual qualities do you think you could bring to the council?
Well, I started with interest in city council when I ran the video for WCTE for the city council. And so I bought a Robert's Books of Order, Robert's Rules of Order, and started kind of engaging in parliamentary procedure. So I know about the mechanics of how the council operates, but like I said, I've been a pastor for 5 years, and anything that gets done is always done with a plurality of leadership. And it's a whole lot easier to make huge sweeping changes with just one person being in charge, and it's a whole lot more difficult to go slower with a plurality of leadership, bringing everybody together. And I think that my skills in working with a congregation and as well as working in a city and a group of people, you got to take things slow. You got to do things the right way, or else we start stumbling. But at the same time, I am passionate to see Allgood complete the vision that's already been established. I do think that these council seats are appointed. I am passionate that they follow up and be elected. I do have some considerations about the decisions that an appointed council makes. I would love to see any decision to move forward in Allgood's future be done by people that the entire city votes on. But if you guys deem me worthy, I would love to take the vision that Allgood has and further it as it stands. So I don't know that I have any visions, as you've been asking, visions to see Allgood in 5-10 years. I adore what's happened. Like I said, I saw Allgood move from nothing, literally nothing, to our amazing city hall, everything that's happening with the park. We have sidewalks in Allgood that you don't have to have cleats to hike up and down. It is amazing to see the town that I grew up in turn into a viable, sustainable city. So I do think that history and psychology could bear some weight with working on the city council.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Would you agree that even though there is a large percentage of personal go-between, back and forth between citizens, council members, planning commission members, city managers, whatever, there is that personal go-between. Would you also agree that it still must be run as a business?
Well, of course. It's frustrating to be able to communicate that to people that aren't working in a leadership group, that there are mechanics of things that have to take place. I think that we run off the rails when we have a breakdown of communication. Something that I'll run into, I'll have a great plan for something, I'll enact that plan, and then I'll turn around in 2 weeks and, oh, I've made everybody mad? Well, that's not my intention. But the failure of leadership is, oh, you don't understand the vision. Well, let me step back a few steps and explain to you, this is why we did that. I think anybody that heard about the vision, the direction, the drive, the plan of All Good would of course agree. And I think that where we run off the rails is we understand the vision. I say we. A leadership board understands the vision, but the breakdown is the communication. But at the end of the day, the council is here to have a plurality of leadership and oversee the runnings of the entire town, not just as a PR firm.
Right.
And if we need a PR firm, we need a PR firm. And those are two completely different things, and you have to run those completely different. So that's my opinion.
Mr. Grant, I believe you confirmed your residency in All Good. Would you be willing to serve on any other boards?
Any way that I can help.
Okay, we thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Was there anyone that we had missed at this time who was interested in stepping up to one of the vacancies to serve on the council? Would any of the council members like to make any further comments?
I'd like to thank them all for coming out.
I'd like to echo Mr. Bilbrey's sentiments. The willingness to step into these roles is extremely important. Everybody, I think, understands that the decisions made, whether it be on a daily or weekly or monthly basis as we do, should not be taken lightly, because they involve not just 5 people that sit up here, but 3,500 people that live within our borders, and even affects a lot of people that live outside the city limits of All Good. And each decision should be based on facts and what is best for the majority of the community at any given time, not just when it suits one or two or a group of particular people. Has that been lost? Possibly. It depends on your point of view, and each and every person in this room has their own opinion, and they're entitled to it. But I think having this tonight in an open public meeting and giving anyone and everyone an opportunity to speak, to let us know that you are interested, is the most fair way to handle this, and gives everybody the opportunity. And going forward, if you are named to the council, you'll be more than welcomed. And even if you're not, you've expressed interest in serving on other boards, and that is welcomed as well, because you know, it takes a lot of people and a lot of time and effort to make these things work. So again, echoing Mr. Bilbrey's statement, I am pleased and proud that these folks have shown an interest, and thank you very much.
This time we'll open the floor. Did anyone else want to make a public comment tonight? You're welcome to step to the microphone and make any comments that you may have. Oh yes, we need to read. Can I borrow one?
Sure.
There was, seeing no one step to the microphone, there was one individual who's a City of All Good resident that was unable to attend tonight's meeting due to an illness. Mr. Milburn Rogers is a resident of 2nd Avenue North in All Good, Tennessee. He sent us a letter today, consideration for All Good City Council, dated December 11th, 2017. Please excuse my absence due to illness. Thank you, Mayor and City Council members, for this opportunity to express my vision for the City of All Good and what I bring to City Council. I have long standing in our great community. After leaving the military, I became a member of the All Good Police Department. That expanded to an opportunity to become a Tennessee State Trooper. 15 years and a serious injury, my career shifted. I started anew with UCHRA as general manager of Lakeside Resort and Educational Complex of 10 years. This gave me a lot of experience, 501c2 and 501c3, budgets, and governmental process. I have served on the City Planning Committee for the last 2 years and hold vice chair of that committee as of present. I also sat on the 4th of July Celebration Committee and Parks Committee. I headed up this year's Christmas Parade Committee. That gives you a little background on myself. Let me tell you of my vision of our great little city. I love our small town and its appeal of a small town, with great people, low crime rate, great schools, good roads, and access to our interstate system. The one thing I think is missing is not enough higher paying jobs and community and rural development. I believe I can bring some great experience and some educational exposure to the City Council. In my 10-year tenure at Lakeside Resort, I brought a $200 million a year economic impact to DeKalb County and adjoining counties, confirmed by a 2009 Corps of Engineer economic study. This was not a one-person accomplishment, but I was a key player in this goal. I would really like to bring some of these ideas and experiences to the city and citizens of Allgood. Thank you for your consideration. Milburn Rogers. If no one has any further comment, this time we will close the work session. Thank you all for attending and showing interest. Yes, sir.
When I was sitting here listening to everyone talk about what they're going to bring to the city of Auburn, I've not been living in Auburn for that long, only about a year. But as I drove through downtown Auburn, looking at the cityscape, trying to find this hall actually specifically, I drove by it without even realizing it because I was trying to set a direct deposit for water. I saw a town that looked like it was dying, and I first saw when I was watching it, what I would feel would be a town that would definitely eventually merge with Cookeville. That was something that would not be stopped, especially with the rate that Cookeville is currently growing at. I know because I'm working with a new company that just moved into Cookeville, and they're planning on hiring a lot of people, and they will probably also be moving into new locations. Now, while I was listening to everyone, it's obvious to me that you have the best experience of the people present here for doing this kind of stuff. But as far as inside is concerned, Tim and Caleb is his name. Sadly. You guys have the best insight of everyone here for what needs to change inside Auburn, for how to improve the city, as well as what's making the city, what's bringing the city down, and what will be needed to lift it back up. Those are what my personal views are while I was watching everything and listening to it. Now, like I said, I have not been living in Auburn enough. I have not explored the city to view everything. But as someone that is just recently graduated from Tech, my degree is in computer science, not anything in regards to public speaking, studying sociology, psychology, or anything like that. But I like to take pride in my skills as an analyst, in analyzing the way people talk, lean around, and look at the corners of stuff, as well as the data that I see presented to me on paper, and the structure of the city that I'm moving to, as well as where most of the commerce will be located. And right now, Allgood's biggest focus is in the Walmart vicinity, where you can also find Zaxby's, Taco Bell, and McDonald's. Now, you go to those locations, and it's hard to pull out of those streets and get onto Main Street and to go where you're wanting to go, whether it's back into Cookeville or to some of the residential areas. And that is currently where the focus of commerce is. And if you're wanting to pull commerce away from that area, you're going to need to find a way to pull business away from Walmart, which will be difficult with how Walmart is set up to run right now, and how much power Walmart has currently in Auburn, with its economic bringing in and stuff. Because that's where, if I remember correctly from Tim talking earlier, that's where most of Auburn's revenue is currently almost located, is around Walmart. And because of that, the city's going to keep dying on the inside while still continuing to grow up. And that's going to do bad as far as image, as far as the Auburn image will go. So what you need to do is you need to try to improve the image of Allgood in the other area. You need to give more access. You need to advertise more. improve the roads, like you said, make them more visually appealing. You're not gonna draw people in if nothing's visually appealing, because people are gonna look at it, they're gonna go, that's ugly. Don't wanna live there. They're gonna wanna go to a nicer looking community than live there. Which you have really nice communities at all. Driving around some of the back roads, I see all these really nice, like, apartments, condos, really nice little houses people have built. And those are like really appealing locations to me personally, if I want to live in. I'm currently living in some of the new apartments that were just built on Dry Valley Road. So those are my personal views about how the state of Ogden is currently. I think it is inevitable for Ogden to become a suburb of Kugel. It's just the question is how long can we prolong? If you look at a map of Ogden right now, the city limits between Ogden and Kugel are literally merged. There is no city limit between Ogden and Kugel anymore. They are practically the same city when you travel between them. And the thing is that you're just driving down this long stretch of road, you're boom, you're in Ogden. Don't even see a sign saying you're leaving the city limits of Kugel and entering the city limits of Ogden. Ogden will eventually be consumed with Kugel. Kugel is growing at a rate that will not be stopped. I don't know if that will be within the next 5 years as your 5-year vision, or if it will be within the next 10 years. But that is definitely something I foresee happening to Ogden, especially with how much Kugel is growing. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, sir. Does anybody else have anything to say before we close? Yes, ma'am.
As a citizen of Allgood for 52 years, if Cookeville was going to get Allgood, they'd have done got us before Walmart was built. And I do not foresee, unless you 3 people and the 2 invisible people to come can allow that to happen. That was in the paper not long ago. Why didn't Cookeville take Allgood? Please, I do not want Cookeville to take Allgood. It's my hometown. I've grown up here. My daddy was chief of police here. Whether I get one of them seats or not, it doesn't matter. I don't care if these 2 gentlemen have more experience than me or not. I don't care as long as they do what's right for the city of Allgood. Yeah, our boundary down here, it does, you know, we touch. That doesn't mean Cookeville's gonna get us unless somebody up here says we're selling us. Did I want that years ago? Yes, but there were different people in office. I'll say that honestly from the bottom of my heart. But I don't want that, and I don't foresee Cookeville getting us as long as we're doing what we're doing. We're doing things for Allgood. Building a park. I'm 52 years old. I grew up with that park right over there. And the park behind the old Allgood school. I didn't have what they had at the elementary and middle school. I'm proud of that school out there. Do we have too many apartments in Allgood? Yes, sir, we do. Yes, ma'am, we do. Yes, ma'am. I do agree with that. But I do not foresee Cookeville getting us. And I don't feel that we're broke yet, unless you let us break. Fill those 2 seats and let us come together as one like we were. Please. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, ma'am.
I would like to say in the job that I currently work at, I had the opportunity recently to visit with a gentleman who used to live here in Allgood. And where he lives now, he has no access to sidewalks whatsoever. And he told me he used to live here. He was handicapped, and he was able to, because of our sidewalks and the improvements that have been done in Allgood, he was able to go do his grocery shopping. He could do his banking. He could do most anything he needed to do to survive as a disabled person in this town. So contrary to what this young man over here has said, I think we have made great improvements, and I think that we have made it possible for people to survive in this town. And I feel like that, similar to what Shauna said, with the 2 people that fill those positions, if we work together as a team, that we can make this even a better place. And that's all I have to say. Nobody else had that opportunity to speak with this gentleman that I spoke with that no longer lives in this county. And I think you all should know what, the conversation that he and I had and the position that he's in now. And he told me he may even consider moving back to this town because of that.
Thank you, ma'am. Did anyone else have a comment? We appreciate everyone coming out tonight and showing interest. And please return tomorrow night for the council meeting at 6 o'clock. Thank you all.